And it says we are live. It's Thursday night. I'm here. You're beautiful. And it's time for GotBot Goes live. And boy, oh boy, what a show we have tonight. So we're going to go back about 4 months. 4 months ago on the show on December the 15th of 2022, I did a huge load of spoilers for Rise of the Beasts with the newest trailer released and all of the excitement and news surrounding that. We're going to go back to see how much of what I shared then has actually come to pass and turned out to be true. We're also going to talk a fair amount about the Transformers animated film known now as Transformers 1. We're going to talk about some offerings from threezero. We're going to talk about a legend-scaled Raiden that apparently is happening and a possible either Studio Series 86 or Kingdom Rodimus Unicronus. That seems to be happening as well. We will do trivia tonight, and we will also do a very unexpected, I know I've said unexpected unboxings before, but this is, at least part of it is kind of wildly unexpected, and it will lead to two, I think, pretty interesting, certainly meaty reviews coming next week. I think that it's going to be fun. I do. I really, really think that it's going to be fun. But of course, we'll have to wait and see. I'll let you know what we're doing. Hopefully, if I remember, I'll let you know what we are doing tomorrow. Actually, I'll let you know what we're doing tomorrow now. Tomorrow is going to be a look back at Beast Wars 2 Galvatron. And we will see him next to the very recent Transformers Legacy Leo Prime or Lio Convoy, if you prefer. So this is going to be a busy night, a heck of a night. I hope you guys are having a tremendous week. Mine's been up and down, but as the week goes on, it seems like I'm feeling better about it as the week goes on. So take that for what you will. Let's see here. Let's do this. We're going to go like that and over here. We're going to do this. And I'm not going to spend 40 minutes tonight talking before we get to the news. Don't have the time. We have a lot to get to. Let's start things off, though, the right way. I, of course, am your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, a.k.a. GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe. And while you are at it, light them up, baby. Hit that notification bell. It helps me out a ton, and it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, the Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that is in the description down below. Also in the description down below. And if you are in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. Hey, Dragonfly, happy you're here, my friend. Now that's Wheeljack. I'm not sure why you said that, but okay. Hey, Caldeo, Joel. Hey, Marcus. Hey, Deceptibot. Transformers 1. A play on G1. I get it. No, I don't think it's at all a play on G1. I think it's one in that it's going to start off by telling the origin. If anything, it's probably going to start off with the one, the sentient core of the universe. I don't know why you made that connection. Weird. I didn't. That's not at all how I took it. I don't know. Anyway. Lance, I mean, I got to be honest. Since the end of June of 2022 until now, it's been a very topsy-turvy year. I gotta be real honest. I can't say it's been the best of years. I really can't. It's just making it through, man. You know, we all got to make it through, right? We all got to make it through. Today's a good day for meatball subs. Yeah, I guess. I mean, honestly, though, is any day a bad day for meatball subs? Yeah, week's been up and down. I mean, it is what it is, right? My walk with the dog is good. I always love walking Tessa. I mean, to be perfectly honest, she's always one of the highlights of my day. You know, she's so happy to just live her life, man, be a puppy dog, you know? It's inspiring, really. Hey, Joel. Thor's Orion Pax. Actually, I heard Thor as Optimus Prime, but we're going to get to that because we're not there. Um, Signal Lancer will have its man. You know, one of these days there's going to just be a Signal Lancer movie, and you're going to be so happy. I think that was on the screen while I was waiting for you to go live. Oh, the original one. Yeah, it's on my banner as well, to be honest with you. Hey, Franz, drive safe, man. Drive safe. If you're on the road, you got to be safe, right? Now that you say it, Transformers 1 sounds like it should be called Transformers 0. No, I think 1 fits. It's the beginning. It's the number 1. It's where everything starts. It's a prequel. And depending on the story that they're going to go for, which I think is probably going to be the creationism story, then if you know anything about Transformers, then you know that Primus and Unicron were created by the sentient core of the universe, simply known as the One. I think it's a play on that, honestly. I don't think but I mean, maybe it is a play on G1. I don't know, but that's not how I took it. Hey, input, Ultra Megatronus, Blue Raccoon, Shansi. All right, let's get into this. This is gonna be a busy night, but a fun night. I am very much looking forward to this. We'll go back to that in a bit. Let's try and get some of the kind of, as people are still coming in here, some of the like early news and notes out of the way, and then we're going to dive into the meaty stuff, which is going to be the movie stuff tonight. There's a lot there. We're also going to go back, like I said, 4 months and see if the things that I leaked have come true and what is still honestly to come. Heard about the casting. Yeah, we're gonna get to all that. We're gonna get to all that. First things first, though. Before we get to all that, I want to note that I watched the finale to Picard, as I'm a Star Trek fan. I thought it was a beautiful finale because, to be quite honest, I love that crew. I've always loved that crew, and it was the way the Nemesis movie had ended. It never felt finished. The story never felt finished. This feels finished, and I love that they kind of set up what the future could definitely be. I absolutely dig it. I thought it was beautifully done. What were there holes and imperfections? Yeah, there was always going to be. Like, what happened to Laris? Why didn't they go to the Borg Queen from the second season? Although, to be fair, I can't remember. Dr. Girardi. Why didn't they go to Dr. Girardi? To be fair, though, I've also heard people say, well, she's a alternate universe Borg Queen or something. So I don't know. Either way, it was a love story to fans. I thought it worked out very well. I also want to, before I get into this, take a moment of silence, man, for the passing of Jerry Springer at 79. Apparently, he had a short battle with pancreatic cancer. That's the word I hear. And at 79, perhaps the best known of the talk show hosts, certainly well up there, certainly probably the most controversial of the talk show hosts. We're going to do a moment of silence for Jerry Springer. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Zero's used for prequel stuff. I think you're overthinking this, Caldeo. Like, I think you're vastly overthinking this. But I don't think it's Generation Zero. I don't think it's Generation One. It has nothing to do with that. This is a prequel. My understanding is this is a prequel to the live action movies. That's my understanding. I don't think it's a prequel to G1. If it is a prequel to G1, then cool. And maybe that would be why it's called One. And maybe it is a prequel to G1. I don't know. I guess we'll see. I assume that it will make more sense when the time comes. I'm really not going to waste time here. There's too much news. There's too much going on right now to speculate over something that's a year and 2 or 3 months away. I don't have the energy for it. No, Jerry didn't do the father. That was Maury. You wouldn't have known about things like Santa Claus, which was Clantaclaus, Claus, which was the clan's Santa Claus. I'll never forget a clan Christmas. That episode was wild. Or like all of those like redneck love triangles, man. That was Jerry. The redneck love triangles, and like the aliens and stuff. He was so wild, but man, he was fun. He was fun to watch. Honestly, he was just fun to watch. And also, R.I.P. Yes, to Harry Belafonte as well. The great Harry Belafonte. Oh man, what a legendary voice. Thank you, Marcus, for bringing that up. I had forgotten about that earlier the week. Yeah, for sure. Generation Selects Combat Megatron was my first Transformer from the War for Cybertron Siege line. Interesting. I guess, like you're saying, overthinking can be fun. No, it's not. Not for me. My life is far too busy. Stuff that happened a week ago is out of my life. Stuff that happened that's going to happen in a week from now, it's out of my life. The now, man, the now is just too busy. Too busy. I don't know. I'm not the guy, man. Hey, D-Dog. Velocitron Galaxy Shuttle, plentiful in Canada, as I've heard. Yeah, loads. There's 10 I could probably put my hand on right now. But they're also, you got to understand, they're also, by the time you put taxes on, they're also more like $88 in my province, right? Like they're like $76.99 plus tax. So, I mean, do you want to pay? If you do the conversion to US, 80 is something like $68, $70, something like that. Like the 88 is something like $70. So do you want to pay about 70 US for it? Because that's what it is here, plus shipping. I mean, it's not a leader class. It never was. When it was Astrotrain, it wasn't a leader class. But yeah, it's very plentiful because it's wildly overpriced. Wildly overpriced. Now, the Shadow Strip and the Crasher, I saw that wave once back in October, and it never got a restock. So the deluxes, they are rare, but the Galaxy Shuttle is just rotting on shelves. The boxes are beat up and stuff, like, because they've been there that long and knocked around. So is Override. Like, she's not as plentiful as Galaxy Shuttle, but she's not that hard to get because, again, and a lot of the boxes and stuff are beat up because they've been there now for several months, and we don't really get sales. So, like, that price is that price. It is what it is, right? But yeah, it's as plentiful as it is, right? Okay, let's keep going here. What do we have? Rising Force showed their Legends Motormaster, though it stands 14 centimeters, which is about 5.5 inches. So I would call it more deluxe Motormaster than Legends. And he comes with like a car bot that forms the chest of Menasor. And the car bot, I'm going to say it's Blackjack because it has a car mode, it has a robot mode. It's like a little minion partner. So I'm going to call it Blackjack a la Combiner Wars. I don't know if it's intended to be Blackjack or just a mindless drone of Motormaster that can, in this case, transform. Looks pretty good. I would be very interested to know how it scales with Combiner Wars. I really would. How it scales, say, next to the Legacy Menasor, because I'm liking the look of it. Honestly, I don't know what it would be like, but it looks pretty cool. Again, I feel like we have like a billion Menasors. I don't know if we need another one, but it looks good. Right, let's see. We'll go back to that Rise of the Beast thing. threezero showed off their Arcee, more of their Arcee. I mentioned this last week. She is going to stand 8 inches or 20.32 centimeters. So she's kind of the size of APC's Night Countess, roughly. She's like a big Voyager, basically a big traditional Voyager, I'll call it, like a Voyager traditionally was 7.5 inches. So 8, she's a fair size. She's got LED light. She's got 60 points of articulation. Impressive. And she is due in winter of this year, 2023. She also comes with a a stand with blast effects, with 4 pairs of hands, and her entire frame, though she's plastic, apparently her entire frame is die cast. So a nice offering from threezero, honestly. Really, really nice offering. I know that their stuff doesn't transform, but man, is there a lot of love and a lot of quality and a lot of workmanship and a lot of thought and a lot of planning and just a lot that goes into their products. Really, really is. Possible Studio Series 86 or Kingdom Shattered Glass Hot Rod or Rodimus Unicronus, if you will. I know that I'm saying all that. It's a bit weird. So the rumor is that there was a listing on a site. It's using the Rodimus Unicronus from Power of the Primes as a placeholder, but it says like Generations Kingdom Studio Series. I think you could see the image on tformers.com if I'm not mistaken. Possibly. There have been rumors that we would get a Shattered Glass repaint of either the 86 mold or the Kingdom Rodimus Prime mold for some time, leaning more toward the 86 mold. I don't know. I don't know. I guess we'll see. But the fact that there's a site in the world that seems to have a listing up for it would lend some credence to the idea that maybe this is happening. Maybe this is actually happening. We'll see as time goes on, of course. In Japan, there's a sticker sheet giveaway for Rise of the Beast. I'll mention that now. It has everything on it from Arcee to Optimus Prime, from Scourge to Freezer. Plus, it has the insignias. They're giving away at multiple locations at multiple places in Japan. So if you live in Japan and you want a sticker sheet, my computer, by the way, is covered in Transformer stickers. I mean, cool, I guess. What else do we have here? Agora Models is starting to kind of, I guess, go live, send out, whatever you want to call it, their Optimus Prime subscription. This is the 3-foot tall die-cast Optimus Prime that will be a monthly subscription. There's two options available: a 12-month subscription where you will get a part of Optimus every month, or a 24-month subscription. The 24-month subscription will mean that it will take longer to complete, but your monthly payments will be smaller. If you go with the 12-month subscription, apparently the first box is going to cost you $74.99 US. Each month thereafter for the other 11 months will be $149.99 US. So this 3-foot tall Optimus Prime, extremely expensive. I will also note now, pardon me. I will also note now, just to kind of get this out of the way, over the course of the last week, we had a lot of Rise of the Beast posters. I guess digital posters that have come up to promote the film. Everything from Arcee, a close-up of her face, to Cheetor in beast mode, to Wheeljack, that's a face close-up, to Scourge, who's a face close-up, Mirage, a face close-up, Rhinox in beast mode, Primal, it's a face close-up, but it's his gorilla face, not his robot face. Optimus Prime as a close-up face, a close-up of the bird head of Air Razor, one with Optimus Prime and Primal facing each other saying unite or fall, and a unite or fall poster that ominously has Unicron overhead. And we're going to talk a lot about that Unicron in just a little bit. So a ton of posters. Obviously now, as we're getting toward the end of April into May, this is slated for June the 9th, though some countries, as I reported last week, have it pushed until June the 22nd, namely Australia and New Zealand. Word is there may be other countries that may push it ahead too. No word as to why it would be pushed ahead, but the trailer we saw is still saying June 9th. So I guess we'll see. That's what we're going to go with for now. Like I said, we're going to get into the meat of all that in just a little bit. Let's go over here. Dan Gilvezian will be at TFCon Orlando in October. And you know what? Let's use that as a segue into Transformers 1. Because, of course, we all know that Dan he voiced many characters, but he's best known for voicing G1 Bumblebee. We're gonna talk about the new voice of Bumblebee in the Transformers 1 film. So Transformers is doing an animated prequel film. I'm not sure if it's a prequel to G1, if it's a prequel to the live action universe. I've heard both. I tend to think it's going to be a prequel to the live action universe, though, at the end of the day. Could be wrong, which goes back to what Caldeo and I were talking about with it being 1. Is it a reference to G1? Maybe. I mean, we'll have to wait and see for sure. It is due in 2024, July the 19th of 2024. So what's this? April, almost May. So May to May be 12, 30, about 14 months away, roughly. It will follow a young Optimus Prime and Megatron, but it's not a coming-of-age story. It will kind of give the origins of Cybertron and life on Cybertron and life of the Transformers. And it could lead to a natural trilogy. All of this is according to Lorenzo de Bonaventura, who, of course, is the producer. Interesting, very interesting. He says that we will see the evolution of society, but we're also going to see what caused the rift in society and the breakdown of society that led to the Great War. A lot of us have an idea of the lore and history, and Lorenzo kind of says if you know the lore, then you have an idea of where this is likely to go. Very, very interesting. Then we had some voices come up. By the way, rumor is that there might be some Primus references here because Lorenzo also said, was it Lorenzo? Maybe it was Stephen Cable, but I think it was Lorenzo also said that Cybertron needs to be like a kind of a living, breathing type of thing, which lends to the idea that it will have something to do with Primus. In terms of voice actors, what a wild lineup they released today for voice actors. Apparently, Chris Hemsworth, yeah, Thor, is going to be Optimus Prime or Orion Pax if you prefer, but I'm pretty sure it's stated as Optimus Prime. I don't know. Maybe I could buy him as Orion Pax a bit better, but I don't know, man. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how it goes. Speaking of Avengers, Scarlett Johansson apparently will be Alita 1 and presumably Ariel. I would guess. Pen closed. What else do we have? John Hamm from like Mad Men is going to be Sentinel Prime. An interesting choice, but I don't think I hate it or anything. Lawrence Fishburne as Alpha Trion. I think his voice is going to be very powerful for Alpha Trion, even though he's older. I think it's going to be more like the Alpha Trion of Cyberverse. Was it Cyberverse? I think it was Cyberverse. If it wasn't Cyberverse, then it was RID 2015, where he wasn't so much old man Alphatron. Like his spirit was there, and he was after like being deactivated or returned to the Well of Allsparks or whatever. But he was still a strong force and a father figure to Optimus. And I feel like Lawrence Fishburne would do that type of an Alpha Trion, which might match up. If this is a prequel, then Alpha Trion is still a little younger, still a little stronger, even though he'd still be kind of an old man. So I think it'll match. I'm okay with Lawrence Fishburne too. Brian Tyree Henry is going to be Megatron. I don't know him. I know that he's been in a number of big productions since about 2017, 2018. But I haven't seen the works that he's been in, so I don't really know him, even though he has been building quite the resume for himself. What else do we have here? And Keegan Michael Key. I love Keegan Michael Key. The guy's hilarious. I loved Key and Peele. I loved him on, what was it? Was it Mad TV? I think he was on. He's great. He's great. He's going to be Bumblebee, which takes me right back to the lead-in that I had with Dan Gelvizan. Keegan Michael Key as Bumblebee? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I like Keegan Michael Key. Will he work as Bumblebee? I don't know. We're going to have to see. That's a lot of weird voice choices. We also found out that apparently ILM is going to be the ones doing the animation, which I like. ILM, of course, or what is it? Whatever, Industrial Light and Magic, I think is what it's short for. They have done work, of course, in Star Wars and Star Trek. They have done work in Indiana Jones. And this is where Lorenzo said, a planet is hard to do anyway. Cybertron needs to be a living, breathing thing, Lorenzo says, which later on leads him to mention or name drop Primus. So I think Primus is certainly going to be in the prequel, which makes me think that they're going to do something along the lines of the creation story. Now, if you know anything about Transformers, there's a number of creation stories. They were made by the Quintessons. The one led to the creation of Unicron to explore the universe. Unicron went mad, basically, and embraced chaos. So then he created Primus to rein in Unicron. And, of course, the two are in an eternal struggle. Primus created the 13. Quintus created the Quintessons. The Quintessons manipulated the Transformers into believing that they had been their creators. Then there's the wild one from the G.I. Joe crossover, where the Quintessons created Primus and Unicron, and Primus and Unicron then created the Transformers, right? Or, well, Primus then created the Transformers. Very roundabout, wild way of doing things. So we'll see. I personally like the Primus Unicron dichotomy and the manipulation of the Quintessons because it fits with the characterization of the Quintessons. So I think I'm cool with that. I think we can get off of that page as well. Another rumor, well, not a rumor, a listing actually for something that will be a Target / Toys R Us in Canada exclusive, and that looks like it's going to be MPM Bone Crusher. If you like Bone Crusher from the live action films, then and you like the MPM line, looks like he might be coming. Apparently, the price will be $164.99 USD, United States dollars. Oh man, Beast Mode Optimus Prime. We saw pictures of this thing. That's the one that has like the lion in the chest. It's 25 centimeters tall. It has 22 steps to transform. I can't see 22 steps. If you look at the truck mode, it's a bit rough. Like if you know the truck for Transformers Prime Beast Hunters, like if you know how that giant Optimus Prime transforms, I think you got an idea of what this is going to transform like. From the back, it looks really rough. It has lights and sound. The head lights up with like a blue LED. He's big. He's simple. There's some posability in the arms. I don't know. He's basically old school leader class size, which is a nice size. Um, I don't. This is one of those toys. I'm going to say like I don't hate it. I don't like it. I don't understand why it exists. I don't get it. I don't. That's what I'm going to say. I don't get it. If you do and you want it, then enjoy. Be happy. Be merry. I don't understand it. Like if I was in the boardroom and this was presented to me, I would scratch my head and be like, I don't get it. Why are you showing me this? To each their own, I guess. The Arc restaurant opened, and we've seen a commercial, and we've seen a video tour, and we've seen pictures. The thing is great. It doesn't look like the food is too out of whack. It seems like fast food, reasonably priced, apparently. The buns are basically Autobot logos. I'm cool with that. It's just a nice little nod. The whole place looks very arcish. There's, I'll say, kind of video loops on the wall that certainly show Bumblebee doing a bit of work in the arc and Wheeljack doing some work in the arc, and then they walk off screen. I've seen at least that much. There's a section where you can buy, you know, products like hats and Studio Series and Rise of the Beast, and I might even be buzzworthy Bumblebee stuff there. And you can buy shirts and mugs and paraphernalia, basically, right? And it has apparently 100 seats. I like it. I think it's neat. I think it's fun. As fun as any of these other kind of niche fast food restaurants are, it'll be interesting to see when the hoopla over it dies down after a grand opening, if it maintains momentum and stays open. I guess a lot of that will depend on how the people of Hong Kong enjoy the food. I think it's Hong Kong. That's it. I think it's Causeway Bay, Hong Kong. Cool. I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll franchise it. Maybe one day we'll get one right here in my province. No, we won't. We don't even have a Taco Bell. We're not going to get an ARC franchise. What else do we have here? Gamer Edition Optimus Prime. He's out. Looks pretty great. I don't think it's enough of an improvement over the 2010 version for me to bother with it, or for my oldest son, who kind of has a collection of War for Cybertron, Valve Cybertron stuff, as well as some Transformers Prime stuff. I don't think it's enough to really interest him either. If you don't have the original deluxe from 2010, then 100% get this, because it looks like a great Prime. Even if you have that one and you see an argument to get this one because it's more bulky and more game accurate, I totally understand. If you have the original and don't see a need to get this one, I get that too. I think all of it has a valid argument. I think that the War for Cybertron Optimus Prime has a tremendous deluxe class offering from 13 years ago. And now I think he has a very tremendous Voyager class offering in the modern age. I really do. The axe leaves something to be desired. I'll say that. But otherwise, the articulation looks good. The transformation seems fairly simple. The tires being up on his shoulders, like that's accurate. That makes sense. That's where they're supposed to be. I do like the bulk of him. His head looks kind of small, but so it kind of did in the game. So I guess it's accurate. I think it's cool. I think it's cool. I've seen a couple of reviews. I don't think it's for me, but I think it's a good product and I do recommend it. So there you go. That's what I would say about that. Another little Rise of the Beast note here. Instagram stickers. Again, we talked about the posters that have all come out this week. Instagram stickers that can go for your stories or your reels. There's Rhinox, Primal, and Cheetor, they basically transform to their beast modes and then like jump at the screen, right? This kind of goes hand in hand with the earlier Optimus Prime, Primal, and Mirage from before. Um, and there's another one with Scourge and Optimus Primal fighting, and they basically end up fighting to the screen and like crash your screen. That's basically what happens. So some neat ideas, I guess, if you do reels and stuff and want to add them to your reels or your Instagram stories. I don't really do stories. I do reels sometimes, but I don't really do stories. I don't really do a lot with reels. But you know, it is what it is. I talked about the Rise of the Beast delay to June 22nd in Australia and New Zealand. Word is it could be other countries. I certainly hope it's not here, and I certainly hope it's not where you live. I hope that the June 9th date stays, but time again will tell. The Guardian robot out in the US, seen at a GameStop, and it's funny. You talk about consistency. I saw it, I saw the picture of it, and it was on the floor. And I looked at the carpet and I said, that's a GameStop. 100% that's a GameStop. And sure enough, even though it's in a different country than mine, yep, it's a GameStop. And Guardian Robot on the floor. That's what they would do here too. I haven't seen the Guardian Robot yet for what it's worth. Trumpeter showed off their kind of simple model kits that come pre-painted. There's no glue. You just snap them together. They're great kits. They've done ones before already for like Bumblebee movie Blitzwing, and I think they actually did a Bumblebee, or not a Bumblebee, was it a Megatron maybe? I think it was a Megatron. Well, they showed off a Bumblebee, they showed off Optimus Prime, they showed off Starscream, and two Seekers. One being Skywarp, which is very interesting. He looks beautiful with the purple and black, and the other being Thrust. So, I mean, they're good kits. Again, I don't believe these transform, but they're about 5, I think 6 inches in height, so deluxe-ish size. Pretty articulated, fairly intricate, while also being simple to put together. So I dig them. I absolutely do dig them. That's it on that side, and that's it on that side. Oh, the statues, the Optimus Prime and Optimus Primal statues. They're making their way around the world in Germany and in Las Vegas. In fact, the ones presented in Las Vegas outside of Caesar's Palace, I think, have been accompanied by Mirage. I mean, cool, I guess. Will we see others accompany these on their tour leading up to the movie to have the whole cast in representation as life-size statues? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Yang Culture showed off their Legends Raiden. Very interesting. Specifically, they showed off Getsui and Seizon. They look great. I would love to know exactly how big these are. And I'd love to know how big the combined mode is. This could be the Raiden for me. I know it's small. I know it'd be at a scale. But it might be the right one for me. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. And I'm going to do this piece of news, and then I'm going to check in with you guys, and then we're going to really get into the nitty-gritty of some of the movie stuff. Unprecedented. I never thought I would see it happen. There is a licensing deal between Hasbro and Mattel. Oh, buddy, what a landmark deal. It will mean that we will be seeing Transformers branded Uno game, which I'm cool with, a Barbie branded Monopoly game, which is pretty neat for those that are fans of Barbie, especially with the movie coming up. But more importantly, for a lot of people here, not me because I don't collect this, but I know a lot of people here do, it will mean Transformers Hot Wheels. That's a game changer for a lot of people and a big deal. Speaking of the little die-cast, we call them dinkies here. The little die-cast models, right? We call them dinkies. I don't know what you call them in your neck of the woods. Ninja Bill has been pointing out the kind of Royal Carriage. I don't want to say reissue, the Royal Carriage order that Mattel will be putting up that harkens back to the original when I think Queen Victoria got her coronation or something. Maybe it wasn't even her coronation. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was her coronation. And like that came out, and that was the precursor to Matchbox, and of course Matchbox and Hot Wheels. So it was like the start of all of it. And now that King Charles is going to be having his coronation coming up now in May, Mattel is basically redoing it in celebration of that. So it's one of those things where if you are a Dinkies collector, a Hot Wheels Matchbox collector, this seems like it would be a crown jewel, a centerpiece type of thing to me anyway. I think it's going to retail for 60 US if I'm not mistaken, which is high for what it is, but I think it's going to have a lot of detail and stuff. So anyway, if you're a collector of that, I mean, rejoice, I suppose. Okay, I'm going to just lay all of this. Hold on. I'm going to lay all of that here, and I'm going to check in with you guys, and then we're going to get into the meat of that. We have trivia and the weird unboxing to do. We're making pretty good time. I'm not going to waste time. If I skip over your comment, I do sincerely apologize. But man, if you were here last week, we were forever getting to the news. Not that I don't love to see everybody active. I do. I love an active community. I just want to, before I get into the meat of the film stuff, I just want to, check in with you guys and kind of stay current with the chat. Let's see how far up I kind of got to go here. Better. Hey, Manitoba, on the drive, buddy. Be careful out there. How about that trailer? Underwhelming is still more than meets the eye. Got a bad feeling about Rise of the Beast. Why do you have a bad feeling about Rise of the Beast? Wheeljack looks terrible. I don't even call it Wheeljack. It's not. And people have been like, oh, you big crybaby, it doesn't look G1. It doesn't look like any Wheeljack. It's the same reason I detest Unicron Trilogy Wheeljack. It has no nods, no bearing, no resemblance to the character. I don't mind Cyberverse Wheeljack with his southern, not Cyberverse, Earthspark Wheeljack with his southern drawl and accent, because guess what? At least it still looks like Wheeljack. And some people will say sometimes he has the faceplate or he doesn't. Newsflash, under his faceplate, though in G1 he always had his faceplate, under his faceplate is a mustache and a little goatee. Like, that's what he has. G1 is G1. Even in the live action movies, the Bumblebee movie Wheeljack established what that character looks like. Why have they taken such a great character and put the name on something that they have explicitly said basically is going to be for comic relief? As a fan of Wheeljack, it disgusts me. I gotta say. There's an upgrade kit for Fans Project Dino King. Okay. I don't do upgrade kits. As far as I'm concerned, the stuff that you buy is overpriced as it is. I rarely do upgrade kits. Rarely. They really got to add some crazy value for me to get an upgrade kit. Careful what you say. Someone might give you that third-party legend scale Motormaster, like how they gave you Legacy. I mean, they could. You're right. They could. And I don't. You know what? Maybe it's better than the Legacy one, because I don't think that's the bee's knees. SG Hot Rod Rodimus was one of the main antagonists of the SG comics. That's right. Yes. And in the comics, he seemed to have the Studio Series 86 body, right? So I don't think it's far-fetched at all. I think it's going to happen. It's just what mold are they going to use? I don't know. We'll see. 4 Wreckers bulkheads coming. Oh, I hope not. That mail order Prime is so dumb. Way too risky. Mail order Prime? I don't know what you're talking about. You're talking about. No, I know what you're talking about. The mail order Prime, the subscription service. Yeah, I agree. And it's wildly expensive. This is the first I'm hearing about the mail order Optimus, and it sounds insane, and not in the best way. I mean, who needs a 3-foot tall die cast? So imagine how heavy it will be. Optimus, that's going to take you a year to put together yourself. That's going to cost you, well, I'm not doing the math, but 150 and 150 is 300. So 3 times 6, say, is 18, right? 1800, take it off. So taxes. I mean, by the time you're all said and done, this Optimus is going to cost you about $2,000 US. $2,000. I don't understand the market for that. I don't understand. Like anybody who gets that, get it if you want, but I feel like you have more money than sense if that's what you're spending $150 US a month on. I don't know. You do you, I guess. Loved all the Rise of the Beast posters this week. Unite or Fall, down on a t-shirt. Yeah, right. Got the Tonka 1, 2, 3 Transformers Rescue Roy a couple of hours ago. I don't know what that is, but enjoy. I'm so mixed on the cast for TF1. Yeah, the cast for that animated movie is weird. Good talent, great talent. But like, I feel like I'll know Chris Hemsworth's voice. And hearing it come out of Optimus's mouth, I think I'll be like, why is Optimus doing a Thor impression? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I think I can buy Scarlett Johansson better though as Alita. I think the Optimus will be the key one. We'll see. He's a talented actor, so we'll see. Young Optimus Prime, some of the art looks like Orion Pax. I mean, I don't know if there's any art really to it yet that's official. I would say everything at this point is pretty darn early from ILM. And maybe it will be an Orion Pax that becomes Optimus or something. I have no idea. Maybe the whole thing. Well, the whole thing's not going to be Orion Pax because we're going to see how the society fell and stuff, right? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Likely keep the name Optimus for marketing reasons. Optimus Prime before puberty. Optimus Prime before puberty. I like that. That's hilarious. That's pretty good. Sounds a bit like they're going with the aligned IDW story for the cast system. Or yeah, it does. Yeah, if you know the lore of the whole tiered society and stuff, and like Decepticons, they weren't treated fairly. They were used for entertainment and gladiatorial pits. Like if you know that from like Transformers Prime, the aligned continuity, IDW, then yeah, I agree. I think that's where they're probably going to go with the Keldeo. Or I think they might have a mishmash of the creation story. And I think for the fall of society, I think that's exactly what they're going to have. I think they're going to go with that cast system for sure. Have to watch the Late Show, but got Commander of the Stars, Optimus Prime, and the Gamer Series Optimus Prime. That's a whole lot of Prime in your life, my friend. Did you say I got Commander of the Stars? Me too. But I don't know what Commander of the Stars is, but enjoy. I may or may not. What? I may or may not too sure in the cast. I would imagine Steve Bloom or Charlie Adler as Starscream again. I don't think so. That doesn't seem like how they're going with it. It seems like they're using big time Hollywood stars. Techno Organic. I don't know why you're saying techno organic with a question mark. I'm obviously missing something there. Cyberverse wanted to explore with the idea of Cybertron of being a living, breathing planet, but the planet kept transforming, and they did that in War for Cybertron. Yes, they did. You're right. I like to think Primus and Unicron existed at the dawn of time. Well, they kind of closely did exist at the dawn of time. They were not too far off of it. But yes, I'm kind of with you, Mr. Survive fan. Like the way you're sort of outlining it there, I'm sort of with you, buddy. I'm never going to get NPMs, so that's fair. Don't have to. I was just throwing it out there as the news. The Decepticon road hazards that their version of Scourge Bone Crusher is getting an MP toy. I don't even know what you're trying to say. A Buffalo Minesweeper, wild. Highway scene. That explains the claw. I've joked about the Arc restaurant in the Krusty Krab. Is the Krusty Krab plenty on input stream? Is that a SpongeBob thing? Is that where that comes from? Now will the restaurant come to other places? Yeah, right. I'd love to have the Arc restaurant make its way to Universal Studios Hollywood. We all need a Brawl and Frenzy, and the 07 NPM line is complete. I mean, I don't need any of it, but anybody who's into it, yes, you're right. They would need a Brawl and a Frenzy. Wait. Yeah, no, we don't have a Brawl, I don't think. Gamer Edition Prime is what? Landing from BBTS on Monday. Can't wait. Hope you enjoy it. Personally, don't need Gamer Prime. That's fine. Hey, Snoke. Hey, Slow DK. No waffle gamer edition for me. Okay, I don't. Does he make waffles or something? I don't know. He seemed fine to me. I didn't notice any waffles on him. I'm not saying he doesn't have them, but yeah, the axe reminds me of Animated Prime a bit. It does, but the paint job on it is awful. Paint job on the axe is just terrible. Don't use Instagram. Well, that's fair. If you don't use Instagram, then I guess you won't use the stickers. Hey, Jay. I saw an upgrade kit on eBay a while back where you can use your Siege Galaxy Prime and give him what? Leo Breakers salvage claw arm mode. I'm not gonna lie. That's Unicron trilogy. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, she's all right. Starscream wife was just coughing there. She's watching. Actually, she's watching. I'm gonna say Netflix. That's usually what she does when I'm on. Skullgrin with Barbie Shell. Skullgrin with Barbie Shell. That'd be so good. Barbie busts open and inside rah, Skullgrin. That'd be great. I would love that. That's the best. That's the crossover I want. Can't wait for the Transformers Hot Wheels. I figured, Jay, when I heard that you were one of the first names that came to mind. Yeah, Hot Wheels sound logical. I agree with you, Caldeo, for sure. For sure. Scourge, I mean, not Scourge. And yes, the Krusty Krab is from SpongeBob. Yeah, our youngest was into SpongeBob for a while. Gosh, I can remember our oldest was gone to like Beaver's Cub Scouts. He was gone to like that camp. And my wife and I said, you know what? We should take the youngest to see a movie or something, right? Because like he was just home. And he was young at the time, of course. And he chose SpongeBob SquarePants Sponge Out of Water, I think it was called. And we went in, and to this day, I can't even tell you what happened, and I didn't understand one thing that happened in it. It was the wildest ride I've ever had at the movies. My wife had a very confused face on the whole time, and our son had like the happiest face I've ever seen him have. He was overjoyed. I don't know with what because I don't understand what was happening, but man, he loved it. And that's all that mattered, to be fair. Okay, so Rise of the Beast and the Transformers 1 film. Just to very quickly reiterate what we've sort of talked about already, just a couple of notes. We saw a number of posters this week. I went through all of them. I can lay that down there. We went through the voice cast that was announced for Transformers 1. We also talked about how ILM is doing the animation for it, and that Lorenzo said that the planet had to be a living, breathing thing, which alludes to Primus. For the actors that are currently known, Chris Hemsworth as Optimus Prime or Orion Pax. Scarlett Johansson as Elita 1. John Hamm as Sentinel Prime. Lawrence Fishburne as Alpha Trion. Keegan Michael Key as Bumblebee. And the last one is Brian Tyree Henry as Megatron. Weird cast so far. We'll see how it pans out as the next 14 months unfold. Then we said as well that Rise of the Beast had some stickers and whatnot and animations for Instagram stories. That in some countries, the film, which is slated for a June 9th release, has been delayed to June the 22nd, namely Australia and New Zealand. And that brings us up to where we are right now. So, Lorenzo did an interview. We'll do that first to get it out of the way, where he said that Bumblebee was an emotion-driven story. And I get that. A lot of people say it's the best story. Now, to be fair, I don't know why people say it's the best story. I don't know why they say it's so much better than all the other movies. It's fun. It's as fun as any other Transformers movie. But you absolutely didn't need the girl's friend. I don't know what his name was. You could have cut a ton of the stuff with John Cena. Literally, Bumblebee did not have to go in the house at all and destroy it. That whole subplot there, absolutely not needed. The kind of I don't want to say school bully, but the you know, the ones that made the girl feel like I don't even remember their names now. Charlie, was that her name? The ones that like made Charlie feel like an outsider because she had been a great diver and she wouldn't dive off. Like you didn't need it, honestly. The story was there without a lot of the stuff. Do I mind that it was there? No. Did I have fun with that movie? Absolutely. But here's the thing. I'm a guy who's had fun with all 6 of the movies because I don't overthink it. It's not going to be, guys, we're not doing Shakespeare here. You know, we're not doing a cinematic masterpiece. We're doing a fun, blow them up, bang them up. We're going to have a loose story, a MacGuffin for them to chase, a big alien robot smashing and crashing into each other. That's the fun of it. And you're going to get some popcorn and you're going to have your gigantic, ginormous super pop. And maybe even maybe you have some candy along the way too, and a few like M&Ms or something. And you're just going to have fun. That's what I expect with Rise of the Beasts as well. But maybe there's more to it. Rise of the Beasts is going to have a couple of human character arcs. We know this as well, and I'm going to talk about that in just a little bit. And he said we're going to see a character arc for Optimus Prime. And the human character arcs and Optimus Primes very much drive the story. And then he said something really interesting. This story happens in 1994, and the arc of Optimus Prime means that the Optimus that we see in 1994, who had to retreat from Cybertron, who had to face failure, is now on Earth. He's the guy who showed up at the end of the Bumblebee movie, right? He is not the Optimus that we know and love from the 07 Bay films. Very interesting because it's a direct correlation from 1994 to 2007. Now, I find that very interesting because a lot of people were like, well, is this part of the, is this like a sequel to Bumblebee since Bumblebee happened in like the mid-late 80s? Or is this part of the Bayverse? Or what is this? I think it's a bit of both, if I'm being perfectly honest. I think it's a bit of both. And let's go back, if you will, in the Wayback Machine. Woo! I don't know what I'm doing. Go back in time to December the 15th of 2022. Stick with me now. On that night's stream, I went through a ton of spoilers. I'm going to go through those spoilers now again. And we're going to see what's confirmed and what's not confirmed. And then we're going to talk about a number of things that kind of came up this week because of the trailer. I've alluded to some of it from Lorenzo, but let's go back. So first things first, Noah, ex-military. And this is a review of what I covered on December the 15th, 2022. I said then that Noah is apparently going to be ex-military. He has an interest and an aptitude for technology. He takes care of his family, has a sick brother. If there was ever a human character arc, there you go, right? He's a young man who has a lot of responsibility thrust on his shoulders to care for his family. Elena, the girl, character arc for her. Apparently, she's a history buff. She works at the Natural History Museum. Some have said she is a bit of a historian. I don't know how much is official and unofficial. I think looking back in time to the history of artifacts and some of the unknown history of the Transformers and Earth, I think very, very much will show her development as somebody who, like, I just love history to a main player in it. All of the Autobots were listed then. They have all since been confirmed. All of the Maximals, I said there were going to be 4. All 4 of them have also been confirmed. Hold on. Get that off. Optimus Prime, apparently in the beginning of the film, is going to fight a bus Decepticon because the Autobots work with humans on the QT to, I guess, round up cons. They've done this before, though, right? So that's no big surprise. Please let us get a Rise of the Beast bus Decepticon. Please. That's what I want. Arcee is going to be the second in command, apparently. I can believe it with what we've seen. She seems to be fairly important. Noah is to Mirage as Sam Witwicky was to Bumblebee. The link between the young hip robot and the human this time is going to be accomplished with Mirage and Noah, and we've seen that in the first trailer and whatnot. They have a bit of a banter. They're going to develop a friendship, very similar, I would say, to Sam and B. I think that we could say that's pretty much confirmed. Wheeljack, he's going to be comic relief. Look at that disaster of a character, and I would say that's confirmed. Stratosphere, interesting. We haven't heard a lot about Stratosphere, just tidbits here and there, and we haven't heard of a studio series or Rise of the Beast release yet. However, I think one will be upcoming. Word is that he's only going to like be in a scene. He's going to be the thing that takes them to Peru for whatever it is that they're hunting for in Peru. I hope that that doesn't prove true and he has a bigger role, but time will tell with that one. I also said that Scourge is going to be the leader of the Terracons, and he will be flanked by his two lieutenants, being Nightbird and Battletrap. And there'll be some other smaller Terracons going about that he also commands, aka Freezer. So yeah, that seems to also be confirmed. Let's see. Predacons apparently will show up in the last act. And I said that there was a swarm of scorpions. We have since found out, and Caldeo actually pointed it out to me because I missed it in the trailer, that in the trailer, you see a swarm of Scorponok's. Or I'm hoping that there's one Scorponok and he can clone himself, a la the Insecticons. That's what I'm hoping for. That seems true. Predacons last seen. By the way, it looks like the only Predacon is likely to be Scorponok. I don't know if that's true, but we'll see. We know now that Unicron will be there. And this is the other things that were said. We'll see if this comes true. So Cheetor and Rhinox apparently are just kind of going to be there. Cheetor apparently like talks, moves really fast. Think of Blur as Cheetor, and that's kind of what you got. Rhinox will have a few lines. He's just there. Air Razor is going to be the exposition. And even in the trailer, she explains a little bit, and I would say she will be the source of exposition. Primal leads that group, and he is entrusted, and they have hidden for ever so long, hidden away from an evil that's coming. Why? Because they need to hide the transwarp keys. The Terracons want the transwarp keys. The Maximals protect the transwarp keys. The Terracons want them because with the transwarp keys, they can bring Unicron directly to Earth. Why they want to do that, I'm not sure. But that's the word. All of that seems logical. All of that seems like it is plausible because, as I'll cover in a few minutes, the director talks about how the Maximals are protecting something important. I would say that they're the transwarp keys. Very similar, would be my guess, to the Cyber Planet keys from Unicron Trilogy, right? A movie version of those, so to speak, is what I'm expecting. Then here's the thing that's the most controversial. Bayverse is canon. At the end of the last night, Quintessa touched the horn of Unicron and said, or somebody touched the horn of Unicron and she said, he doesn't like that. And the guy says, doesn't like what? And she's like, doesn't, or, you know, who doesn't like that? And she says, Unicron. Well, though it's not shown on screen, apparently what will be kind of explained to us is that Unicron did wake up and he was still a multiversal singularity and got defeated. So he was the core of Earth, woke up, got defeated, however he got defeated. But because he's a singularity, he decides to go back in time and claim an early victory. Hence the importance of the transwarp keys. Go back in time, go to Earth, destroy, devour, eat the planet before he ever becomes trapped in it. A lot of people are like, how could this Unicron be out there if he's in the planet in the last night if Bay is canon? Remember the order of events. 80s for Bumblebee movie. Then we have 1994 for this movie. Then we have 2007, 2009, 2011, 2014, and 2017. We're going back, you know, if 2017 is the last time, we're going back 25 years, man. We're going back to 1994. Unicron is going back 25 years. So you have a line going across that's a timeline. And now Unicron is going back in time and creating a change that's going to make a whole new timeline. The Bumblebee movie timeline, apparently. A whole new timeline. Evidently, both of these timelines will eventually converge, and become one timeline. That's the rumor, that's the leak, that's the spoiler, that's the word. Is there any truth to that? I don't know. But it's very similar to what Marvel did in the MCU when they were playing around with time. It's very similar to what Star Trek did in the 2009 film when they went back and destroyed Vulcan, and now everything that happened, but now there's a whole new timeline where anything can happen again, right? So, like when you watch a show like Picard, it's in that prime timeline. The movieverse timeline is its own timeline because you had someone go back into the past and make a major change. So now the entirety of the universe is different. Very similar thing apparently going to happen here. So he woke up, he was defeated, he goes back in time before he becomes trapped in the earth. The Maximals hide the Unicrons, are hunting them in order to help bring Unicron to Earth. Now everything changes, and both Bayverse and the Bumblebee timelines are both accurate, and they will both eventually converge, but not in this movie. That's a lot, but I feel like it's extremely accurate. I think it's exactly what's going to happen. And if they pull it off right, it's a brilliant way to clean up what a lot of people consider to be kind of a mess. Unicron, by the way, is going to be voiced by Coleman Domingo. If you don't know who that is, I think it's an interesting choice because he too has a strong bass voice. I know him as Victor Strand from Fear the Walking Dead. You might know him as Ali from Euphoria, for example. He's done a lot of work. He's pretty well known, man. Interesting choice for the voice of Unicron, but I'm not angry at it. Gotta say, Scourge, man, has one hell of a lieutenant. One hell of a lieutenant. The Uniter Fall poster I already talked about with Unicron looming overhead. And then we get to the last bit, which is the interview by Capel. So the interview from Lorenzo basically confirmed that, the Optimus of 1994 is not the one we know in 2007, which means, yeah, even he's saying roundabout that Bayverse is canon. This Optimus, somehow, some way, evolves to become the Optimus of 2007. Now, some people will say, whoa, whoa, whoa. Optimus and the Transformers, they just came to Earth in 2007. They didn't know anything. Who's to say that an event cannot happen that clears their memory, wipes their memory, right? Who's to say that what's happening here in this alternate timeline has anything to do necessarily with that main timeline? Maybe that's the prime timeline, and what we're experiencing now in Bumblebee and now this new movie is like the secondary timeline, right? I don't know. I'm just spitballing possibilities of how they could make this work. It's funny. I'm just saying. Years after I started doing Universal Collision, you're doing all this now. Just throwing it out there. Cheaters like Blur. Capel says that basically. He says he talks very fast, moves very fast. The beasts are from their own planet. I find that very interesting, and I don't know what Capel means by that. If you don't know, Capel is the director for this, Stephen Capel Jr. They're protecting something on Earth from Unicron. I'm going to say it's the transwarp keys. Why does my pen keep closing on me? What am I doing that causes that? The Maximals are going to offer the exposition, specifically Airazor. Like I said, the Porsche that Mirage turns into, apparently that's a nod to another Michael Bay movie, that being Bad Boys, when Martin Lawrence talks about that they're in a Porsche. Who knew? And a lot of his kind of lines and verbiage will be kind of like something you'd expect from Jim Carrey, which is why they brought in Pete Davidson to be the voice of Mirage and bring him to life, because he's a comedian, right? Bring in a funny guy to do the funny things, even though Wheeljack's supposed to be the comedy. It's our introduction to Unicron. This is not going to be the be-all, end-all. So I compared him in December to Think Thanos, like a big baddie. I thought he was only going to be hinted and alluded to, but with a voice actor confirmed, Unicron is at least going to have something to say. But I feel very much like Coleman is probably signed on for multiple movies. I think that there's going to be a build here, and that Unicron is going to be their Thanos. He's going to be the dude. We'll see when the movie actually comes out how right I am about that, but I can believe it. Capel said this, and I thought that this was good. There needs to be more to that character beyond the Last Night horn. Direct link that the Last Night Unicron is this Unicron. You know what? Maybe we'll get to the end of this, and maybe we'll actually see how they trap him in Earth. Maybe history will repeat itself. Maybe Unicron won't win. Maybe in trying to get an early victory and exact his revenge, we'll learn, oh my goodness, that's how Unicron became trapped in Earth. That's why his horn is up. That's why Quintessa did it. Maybe the Last Night will make sense after this movie. We can hope. We can certainly hope. Let's do the trivia, and then I'm going to catch up with you guys, and then we're going to do the unboxing here and get out of here. A little bit wild, a little bit crazy. I don't think the trivia is very hard this night, but we'll see. We'll see. Who did Vector Sigma essentially possess? Did Vector Sigma possess Optimus Prime, A, Optimus Primal, B, Rodimus Prime, C, or Alpha Trion, D? Who did Vector Sigma, G1 Vector Sigma, by the way, who did Vector Sigma, in essence, possess? Optimus Prime, Optimus Primal, Rodimus Prime, or Alpha Trion? A, B, C, or D? I'm going to go up, and I'm going to see. Let's see. I think it was around here, was it? I think. It was here. How far up here? Let's see, maybe around here. Yeah, this seems to be around where I was. I just got to see where it was I stopped last. Imagine Motu and Transformers mashups. I could believe it. I don't know what He-Man would turn into, but I could believe it. I know a friend of mine really wants a Barbie Transformer. Interesting. Might see it happen now. Would you call Wheeljack Fix It? Possibly. I here's the thing. I don't hate I don't hate the design in terms of, like, I've seen the figures and the reviews and stuff. I don't hate it, and I don't hate the van mode. I just hate that they're calling it Wheeljack when it's obviously not in any way, shape, or form a nod to that character. Name it something else. I guess you could call it Fix It, but here's what I would say, Blue. Why call it anything that's established? Give it its own name. Make it a new character. I'm not buying it as Wheeljack. But you give it a new name, or you find a way I can retcon it or something as a different character, I'm all in. Apocalypse Wheeljack, you could call it. If there was a zombie apocalypse, okay, I guess. I just make it an original character. I don't know why that's such a hard concept. Just make it a new character. They should have taken the Bumblebee movie characters and put them in Rise of the Beast. Absolutely. They've done it to Wheeljack probably to make fun of older Transformers fans saying they're nerdy man-child. Maybe. But all you're doing is alienating the people that have given you the most money, too. So good business there. Rise of the Beast Wheeljack would have been fine with either the Bumblebee movie. Yeah, head sculpt. Yeah, even give it the Bumblebee movie head. Something that I can look at and say, oh, yeah, okay, I see a bit of Wheeljack there. Like, Transformers Prime Wheeljack is nothing like G1. Totally, completely different type of character, but it looks like Wheeljack, so I can buy it, right? Same with the Cyberverse one, or yeah, I think it's Cyberverse. Same with the Earthspark one. At least they look like the character, so I can buy it. The personality might be changed a bit. Sometimes he's an inventor, sometimes he's a fighter, right? But at least it's in the spirit of the character. This isn't in the spirit of anything at all. It's, I don't know, it's disappointing that they done him dirty as far as I'm concerned. I mean, they must be desperate if they're using, what? If they're asking for that much for that mail order. Well, it's not Hasbro doing it. It's Agora. I don't think they're desperate. I think that they think that fans will pay it. And guess what? There's a lot out there that will, because there's too many Transformers fans who are blind to the price tag, and that's why the prices have gone the way they've gone. If we as a fandom held that company accountable for the best product for the best price, we absolutely would not be paying what we're paying now. We're only doing it because Chris Cox knows he can get away with it. And until we as a fandom start saying, no, you can't get away with it, same thing's going to keep happening. It is what it is, man. Wonder if they'll do Prime backstory and make Megatron a Gladiator. I would imagine that they will. That would be my guess. And I know I'm skipping stuff, guys, and I'm so sorry. I won't believe what Lorenzo says again. I don't know why you wouldn't. He's the producer, but okay. Scourge, I mean, not Scourge. And yes, the Krusty Cab was a SpongeBob reference. Yeah, okay. I think I said that. The Promise You Own is from the Unicron trilogy, Cybertron mostly. I had the toy as a kid. Okay, so I don't know what your point is, but cool. Yeah, Sponge Out of Water is a bad movie. Oh, it's awful. It was awful. And he's barely out of water. It's like 10 minutes that he's out of water. No, it was bad. That thing kicked you out. You quit. I don't know what kicked you out, but I hope that you are feeling better. I consider the Gamer Edition Bumblebee and Optimus as just updated versions of their generation's Cybertronian versions. I agree. Yeah, I absolutely agree, Brian. Transformers 1 going to be a straight to Netflix movie series? I don't know. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it's a theatrical release. Hey, live. For my money, Bumblebee was the best live action Transformers movie, and it wasn't even, but it wasn't the best. You go back and watch it and watch the story, just the story. It's fun. Don't get me wrong. Go back and just watch the story and see how much can go cut out that's absolutely unnecessary. It's a great movie that could have been told. The story could have been told in a half hour. There's no more than a half hour worth of story there. The rest of it is just filler. Go back and watch it, because I was super hyped at first too. And the more I've watched it since, the more I'm like, they didn't need that. They didn't need this. They didn't need that. They didn't need this. They didn't need this. And same for characters. There's a lot of characters you didn't need. I love it, but I mean, and it was a simple story to follow. It was very straightforward. True. It's just there was a lot more there that could have been left on the cutting room floor, to be honest. Which makes me wonder what a value they left on the cutting room floor that maybe they shouldn't have left there. Transformers Bumblebee Cybertronian scenes was worth the movie. Yes, that's the big thing there. You had those beautiful, glorious Cybertronian scenes. Too bad there weren't more of them. You couldn't cut that out. And I think they did cut some of it out. They shouldn't have. They should have left that in. Cut out all of his bumbling around in the house. It wasn't funny. It made Bumblebee look like a fool, and it destroyed the house. All it did was make me detest Bumblebee more. Didn't endear him to me. He was like a puppy. He was like a stupid puppy. Isn't he supposed to be a genius alien robot? It just, I don't know. It didn't fit. Same on the beach when he put his head in the sand. I was like, what are you doing? Why? It's not funny. The Cybertronian scenes were my favorite parts. Everybody says that. I cannot like a story and still enjoy movie. Me too, especially when it's a franchise I like. I like the original Punisher movie a long time ago. I like that original Masters of the Universe with Dolph Lundgren. That could tell you how much I care about the story when it's a franchise I like. I don't. I even like the G.I. Joe movies. Although my wife detested Snake Eyes. We finally saw it. I was like, it's fine, ninja movie. It's nothing G.I. Joe about it, but it's okay, ninja movie, I guess. She hated it. Unicron being back, Unicron being in action in 1994 would imply Rise of the Beast is not in the Bayverse. Why? Why would it imply that? The Bayverse starts in 2007. The world existed before that. I don't know why you would say that. But it also doesn't preclude some stupid time travel or multiverse nonsense. I don't get what you're saying. I don't see why it wouldn't be in the Bayverse. I studied in LA in 95. Okay. Hey, Big M. How does a historian learn to do all those gymnastics jumps? Because when she was in high school, she was also on the gymnastics team and maybe the cheerleading team, obviously. I don't know. I don't know how she learned them. That's what I'm going to say. His name is Transit. I don't know what you're talking. Oh, the bus? Bus Decepticons probably Transit. I've never heard of a Decepticon called Transit, but I'm down for it. Yeah, let's make that happen. I also noticed after editing Earthspark episode 910, Alex is shorter than Dorothy. What? Okay, yeah. The bus Decepticon is named Transit. You're all saying this. I don't know where you're getting Transit from. Did I say it at some point? Maybe I did. I don't remember stuff. My memory is shot. How do giant robotic animals hide? Word is that they lived in a cavern or a volcano, a dormant volcano, obviously. But like, who's going to go searching for anything in a dormant volcano? And Omega keys, that would explain why he'll phrase himself like the G1 comic. He entered the Matrix and possessed Rodimus. We need Doc Brown. Yeah, we need Doc Brown. I like history. I'm still taking that with a bit of salt, but let's wait and see. Absolutely, I would say take it with a grain of salt. But I find it very interesting that the majority of what I said 4 months ago has now come to pass to be true. So we'll see. I heard Antonio Banderas was offered as Galactus. Ugh. No, thank you. That makes a valid point. The Bee would lose his memory of Charlie, right? I don't know how they would lose a memory, but like all you need is a memory eraser like they had Men in Black. Boom, done. Not that hard. You just need a MacGuffin to make it happen. Memory wiping Rise of the Beast Optimus to make him into Bayverse Prime. There are a stupid number of contrivances necessary to make this movie fit. No, there's not at all. I don't know what you're getting on with, Waspinator. This fits in no problem. Boom, memory wipe. They go back to their planet because they stop Unicron. They're not, I don't think they need a lot of contrivances. You just need convenient literary devices. And franchises have been doing it for as long as franchises have existed. It's not as hard as you think, man. And you got from 94 to 2007. Man, all you got to cover is what happened in 13 years. You don't even need to put it on the screen. Just make sure there's a backstory that scrolls up that covers what happened in 13 years. Boom, done. It's easy to do. So easy to do. Occam's razor is good for storytelling too. Occam's razor is good for storytelling. You're right. So Optimus going to become Murder Prime. And again, everybody's like Murder Prime. I don't know. I've always thought that his actions were very justified in the films for the way he's feeling and what's going on. I've never seen him as Murder Prime. I don't know. I don't see what you guys see, I guess. I'm not that critical of it. Our Michael Bay directed Bad Boys. Yeah, it's one of Bay's films. It's one of his things. Could be fun and worth a watch, but twisting the plot and characters to connect to the Bayverse will be a guaranteed way to ruin it for me. Bayverse is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. All 5 of those movies are fine. There's no huge gaps in the storytelling. The story's fine. It's dumb. It's B-movie quality, but the story's fine. Bumblebee was fine. B-movie quality. Same with this. B-movie quality. The only reason that any of these make billions of dollars is because the word Transformers is on it. You change that to Transmorphers. Remember that? Transmorphers? No, that's because it failed miserably because nobody cared. It was a B movie that stayed a B movie. Transformers are just a bunch of B movies that became blockbusters because it's Transformers. I don't know. I'm not where you guys are with it. Is that B we see run through by Scourge or Mirage in disguise? No idea. I miss so much in these trailers. I don't pick up on details, especially if someone's running. Like this is an extended excuse for TLK to make sense. Come on out. Sounds awful. But TLK makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. The whole thing follows perfectly. I don't understand why people get confused by it. It's very clear story. But whatever. I don't go back and rewatch it, I guess. It's not a complicated story. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Holy smokes, you guys. I'm not reading all this, by the way, guys. I don't have the time. It's too late now. DDA Alpha Trion Optimus Primal. It is Optimus Primal B. Yes, congratulations, Keldeo. Here's what basically happened, because I know a lot of people here will say Beast Wars isn't G1, even though it is. Beast Machines is garbage, even though it's not, and it's the official end of G1. So, Vector Sigma evolved as life left Cybertron, and it evolved to the point where it became the Oracle. It was no longer in corporeal form. In other words, it didn't have that yellow orb body anymore. It wasn't this anymore. And when it evolved, it was able to basically interact with select transformers that had a commune with it, one of them being Optimus Primal. Optimus Primal thought that the Oracle, or Vector Sigma, wanted him to basically lead a revolution to make Cybertron once again organic, as it once originally was before it ever was cyberformed by Primus. And the Oracle basically ends up, I don't want to say explaining, but ends up enlightening Primal that no, that's not what I want. I want a harmonious balance of techno-organic. But the Oracle is smart. In order to accomplish that, the Oracle basically possesses Optimus Primal and Megatron to a certain degree. They're not super conscious of it. They're aware that there's a certain linkage. And in the end, of course, Primal sacrifices himself and Megatron in order to bring a new age to Cybertron. Within that sacrifice, really, they are, as all Transformers do, returned to the Well of Allsparks. Whether they retained their individuality in the Well of Allsparks or became part of the pool of sparks, once again, is unknown. But at the very end, the very bitter end of G1, once again, Cybertron is a techno-organic paradise where those that live on it live in harmony. All thanks to Vector Sigma, aka the Oracle. Wild history. And that's why people hate Beast Machines, because it's such a deep, esoteric storytelling. Like I said, I didn't really understand it and get it until my third or fourth watch through. Now I look at it with whole new eyes. But you got to watch it multiple times. Multiple times. Hey, Raz. And I'm sorry, guys, that I'm not reading through everything here. But there was a lot of movie stuff to cover. I love you all, and there was a lot of movie stuff to cover. Should have cut out all the human parts of Bumblebee movie. Absolutely. Pretty good busy at work, says Ken. Hey, Mason. Oh, was I a few years back? I hope life is good for you, buddy. Hope life is good for you. I only saw Rise of Cobra after I saw G.I. Joe Transformers comic. There's artwork for Transit on. Oh, there's artwork for him online. Okay. All right. I didn't know. Oh, I probably did know and forgot. As we go down here a bit. See, you're saying, Waspinator, what? He gets buried in 1994 and most of humanity doesn't know. We have no idea what's going to happen. I'm not even saying he's going to get buried. He's trying to keep from getting buried, and we don't know when he got buried at this point because we don't know the story. Let them tell the story. This is the problem, I think, with a lot of fans, not just Transformers fans, but a lot of us, myself included. We try to jump to too many conclusions before we know the story. And we try to make too many headcanons before we know the story. We're all guilty of it. And right now, a lot of us here are being super guilty of it. It's not a contrivance at all, Waspinator. Not at all. It's you drawing a conclusion when you don't know the story. That's what it is. It's not a contrivance. Not in the slightest. It's a long shot guess at what could possibly happen at best. Here's my call for Rise of the Beast. The trailer released today showed every scene with Transformers. When we go to the theater, what will we see for the rest of the human footage? Memory wipe is a contrivance. No, memory wipe is not a contrivance. Memory wipe is absolutely not a contrivance. It is a plot device. And a lot of people, my memory's shot. No, it's not a contrivance. And I'm not even saying that's what's going to happen. Because, again, it's not a contrivance. It's just a fan guess because we don't know the story. Solely to force it into a pre-existing continuity. Again, you're making guesses. You're arguing with me here about things that neither you or I know. I'm not buying this. It sounds like something. Well, then don't watch it, is my advice to you, Waspinator. Don't watch it. Don't give it a chance. Make your judgments that are wrong. Because they are wrong at this point because you don't know. Neither do I. You're wrong. You're 100% wrong. And I got news for you. The other 5 movies are fine. Bumblebee is fine. None of them are great. And I'll see how this story goes. But, man, come on. Like, you're in here complaining about stuff that you don't know. It is very esoteric and deep. I hate it because Megatron is almost a completely different character. Megatron is not almost a completely different character. Megatron in Beast Wars is very God mode. Very God mode. He tries to destroy humanity. He tries to make sure that he destroys all of the Autobots before they ever even wake up. He's been in God mode a long time. This is just his apex of being in God mode. It is the ultimate character evolution of Megatron. It is the ultimate Megatron when he is the planet. It's really that simple, man. Okay, man, I got to get out of here. I got to stop arguing with you guys because this has gone on long. So, very, very quick, and then I'm out of here. You're never going to believe. You're never going to believe what I found in store at a grocery store. At a grocery store here, Dominion. In some places in Canada, it's Loblaws. In some places in Canada, it's Atlantic Superstore, and I think it got other names. But here it's Dominion. Found on shelf, 2008 Legends Class Megatron and 2008 Legends Class Jazz. $5.99. $5.99. So Friday, not tomorrow. Tomorrow's Galvatron. Next Friday, we're going to do a not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9, but a 10-for-1 review comparing these guys to some things that are sort of updated. There's going to be 10 mini bots from this era compared to more updated things. I'm not going to lie to you. I do not have the core class version of this guy, but I will kind of sort of talk about it. It's an interesting review. It's a bit different. They're like mini reviews all thrown into one. But on Tuesday, and this is very unexpected, my birthday is coming up in a couple of weeks, and our buddy, Ultra Megatronus, actually gave me the Origin Jazz as a birthday gift, early birthday gift. So long ago, that Jazz so long ago. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know how they were on the shelf or where they came from. It was wild. Anyway, another very unexpected birthday gift landed in my hands because I wasn't planning this. I wasn't getting this. I didn't want this. I had no use for this. But we're going to review it. We're going to review it, and it is, get this. Remember, this wasn't for me. This was a gift. Studio Series 86 Ironhide. Now, you all know that I don't think this is a Voyager. Or I certainly have been saying, that ain't no Voyager. But is it or is it not? I'm going to tell you now. There are things this guy needs done to him out of package. There are things this guy needs. And unfortunately, mine does have a QC issue that really bugs me. And I'm going to show you the QC issue right now. This. His shoulders are so tight and the waist loosey-goosey. It doesn't stay on at all. Not at all. Not at all. And I did cut this. By the way, you don't need to pop the pin to do it. Just saying. We'll see the review for this on Tuesday. There's a lot of meat on that bone. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get out of here because I've been here a long time. Thank you for your patience. I want to thank my wife for her patience. I appreciate each and every one of you, whether we agree or don't agree, whether we agree or disagree, I meant to say. You know I love you all, and I'm so thankful that you give me some of your very valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. Please, if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring. Or, of course, you can hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. Please hit the subscribe button. Stick around. Have some fun with us. Galvatron coming up. that Ironhide with some customizations coming up, as well as a 10-for-1 set of mini reviews all in one video next Friday. You can get your snacks. You can sit back on a Friday evening and enjoy Galvatron tomorrow. Get your snacks. Enjoy the 10-for-1 next week. And please never, ever forget that somehow, some way, each and every single one of you, each and every single day, you do make a difference in the world. And I look forward, baby, to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either right here in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres or the old fashioned way inside the videos.